Hey, what's up YouTube? So right now I'm trying to figure out a way to connect the windows on the outside so that when we open them that they'll both open together. So what we did was we put our two emergency windows, purposely we put them together, and that way we could put them on gas shocks, and we could lift them up and kind of look outside, or when we're cooking to let the smoke out, etc., etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of this channel right here that came off. This was actually hiding the wiring harness, and I'm going to cut a piece off, and I'm going to see if I can attach it to these two windows here and here. Now I'm not sure if it's wide enough or it may be too wide, but right now I'm just going to cut a little piece out, and that way I can attach it from here to here. It'll be a nice clean piece of trim, and I don't know, we'll see if it works. Let's go see how this piece fits. That is doggone near perfect. So I'm going to have to leave a little bit of space up here so it doesn't catch on that lip. I might have to flare this out just a little bit and then bend these down to get it a little wider, because I think I'm right on the cusp of not being able to drill a hole. Alright, so I had a pretty good fit. I'm just going to have to do a little bit of metal work. I'm going to have to take about an inch off. Also, nobody told me I had the grinding wheel on the grinder instead of the cutting wheel. I need this wheel, which is a cutoff wheel, instead of that big thick daddy right there, which is a grinding wheel. I had to do a little bit of coaxing to get this thing to fit right, but basically when I put it up on the window like this, where it's going to be its final place where I'm going to screw it in, these flares right here, where my thumb is and where this finger is, they were too narrow. So I wouldn't be able to get a bite on the window because the screw would have been right on this inside edge right here. And I'm not sure that it would have worked that way. So what I did was I just flared that piece out a little bit, and then I took a hammer and I tried to tap these outside edges as flat as I could. It's not perfect, but you can see that it's going to make a pretty good seal. And I'm going to take it back inside and do a little bit more to it. I'm going to beat on it a little bit more, and I should be able to get it perfect. So right now, drill all the holes in it, and I'm just going to get them started at first. I want to make sure I get the edges really good too, where I cut it. This self-etching primer, I've been taking it and putting a first coat on and then sanding it a little bit. Put a second coat on, and it really will level out anything that's ugly with the finish. A couple of videos ago I showed you guys how I took these pieces of channel that I had left over from that actually held the electrical in the bus, and what I did was I cut them off at 19 inches, and then I took them and I shaped them to where they would flare out a little bit more, and then I took and I drilled a 3/16 hole every 2 inches, okay, and then I went through, sanded it real good. I had to get the stickers off. There was a lot of decals on them, as you can see, like this, and so I cut them off straight, drilled those holes in them, and what I'm doing now is I'm actually installing them here between our two emergency windows. And I've got it about halfway installed, and it works perfect. So I'll have compression springs on this thing on both sides, and if we're cooking in there, or whatever the case may be, we'll be able to just pop these windows open. guys. So that's it. Both the windows open perfectly.